reality. There's
the
a
pain
culture,
of Gaza, the
there's
pain
a
of
culture,
Israel.
there is
Everyone is suffering.
There's a real culture of atrocities that is coming forward with a whole army called ISIS, Hamas, and Al-Qaeda. It was in 9/11. It's in beheading people in Europe. It's in torturing and doing what the Houthis are doing down south. It's all over the region. Either we fight them or not. Exactly. That took a long time until Winston Churchill took over, after he threatened and alerted against the Nazi regime. We paid the price. We caved in. We enabled again and again and again to have ceasefires. And what happened? What happened? The highest amount of Jews killed since World War II, since the Holocaust, was on 7th of October. It's 8 times more in proportional numbers than 9/11. What else do you expect us to do? How do we protect ourselves as a family, member in a family of nations? What's our right here? We don't want to inflict pain. We tell people move out. But we have to get these terrorists and get them out. That's what we're trying to do right now. And believe me, we don't want to be there. We are not a warmongering nation. We have 350,000 of our sons and daughters mobilized in this battle simply for one reason: to defend ourselves and to protect our people.
So many around the world, including in the region, were shocked and condemned what happened on October the 7th. But now all eyes are on this war, including what the UN describes as a humanitarian catastrophe. You say that UN officials are thanking you in private. They are grateful for every lorry which comes through.
But they are dramatic increase.
But the
United
Nations says there has to be much more. The United States says there will be much more. How much more will you allow in? Now it is, to use the words of the United Nations, a trickle.
I must tell you, there's one thing that you keep on doing, is repeating the United Nations. First of all,
they are the ones on the ground.
I'm not sure it's the only objective element in the region.
Well, there's many of your Western allies are saying
some of the positions of the United Nations also led to this situation. Their indifference to the pain of Israelis being killed endlessly by terror is unacceptable and unforgivable. I can tell you that. It happened throughout in the last 25 years. I can show you statement after statement after statement. I went to bereaved families in the last 2 years, almost every week, unfortunately, who were killed by terror. I said it in a joint session of the House in mid-July. I said the whole problem, the core of the problem with our relations with the Palestinians is terror. Accepting terror is unacceptable. Now let's go back. I respect the operations of the United Nations, but they are working with us in conjunction. We are increasing dramatically the humanitarian aid to Gaza. We have supplied much. We've doubled the amount of water supply again. Water and electricity were all demolished by Hamas for itself against its own people.
But you also cut off the water that you supply.
We did not cut off water and electricity. They bombed, and it's proven. It's just like, you know, I don't want to go into the corner of whether the BBC has been objective or not. I don't want to be there. I'm saying it. I'm saying it because Hamas missiles, it's agreed by all, brought down the electricity grid in Gaza. And because of that, Hamas missiles have demolished and put on hold the entire water operation of Gaza. Israel supplies only 7% of the water in Gaza. And now we've increased the water to Gaza in certain areas that we could supply water in order to help the humanitarian aid in Gaza. The number of lorries that are coming in are much higher. And the way we were told yesterday by the UN representative,